Hello again, my name is Michael S. Garner, and I like to talk about comic book related TV shows and movies and sometimes comic books, and just my thoughts on them, and I want to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of them? Because there's so many of them out there now. And today I just wanted to talk about one show that I actually kind of enjoyed the first season, which was Batwoman, and I may be in the minority on that, but I don't care. I sometimes, just to give you a little bit of an explanation of my opinion about this stuff, is that, especially with DC, I feel that DC always gets a lot of like flack and everything like that. I mean, I always get excited when there's a new DC comic book TV show or movie coming out. And Batwoman was no exception and everything like that. I was like, oh my God, we're going to get Batwoman. And I wasn't one of those people who poo-pooed on the fact that Ruby Rose is going to be playing it. Because I don't think Ruby Rose is bad. She just is what she is. You're just like thinking like she's this big thespian actor and everything like that. No, she's just the normal actress and everything like that. I don't know what went down with the first season and the reason why she left this show. But I know that there are stories out there of the reasons why she left the show. I just don't particularly believe them. Probably like most people out there, I just don't believe the reasons that were given, and I'm not even going to go into that. But season 2 has a new actress playing Batwoman and a completely different Batwoman. It's no longer Kate Kane. It is now Ryan Wilder. A brand new character, never introduced in the comic book. So this is kind of a fresh take on Batwoman. Honestly, I would have been happier if they just recast Ruby Rose. But I understand a change because if they ever did want to bring her back or if she decides to come back, there's an in here. And I'm going to explain that right away if you haven't seen the first episode. But this is what I believe the in was automatically introduced into this. We do not see in this first episode of episode 1, season 2 of Batwoman, we do not see a dead body of Ruby Rose's Batwoman. We have a plane crash where she supposedly crashed in a plane with a kryptonite thing in her suit and all this crap. I will admit, there's another problem with some of the shows, especially in the Arrowverse, when it comes to like the second seasons and sometimes the first seasons when they premiere. They try to pack a lot of crap in those seasons. And I feel that just like what they did with Supergirl season 2, I love the fact that they brought so much into it, but there was a lot of crap in that second season. I'm like, God, you could have left some of this for the third and fourth season if you ever got one. But sometimes you got to do that because you may not get a third and fourth season. So I understand the reasons for that. But a lot of stuff happened in Batwoman season 1 that I honestly couldn't remember. I'm like, who's dead? Who's this? Who's it? Did Ryan Wilder, was she introduced then? I know she wasn't, but it was just funny because I'm like thinking, what the hell happened? Even when they recapped, I'm like, oh, I forgot that happened. But I just want to talk about the main part, the new Batwoman. I do like the actress who plays the new Batwoman. I think she does a good job, and she's a completely different character. I'm interested to see where she's going to go. The issues I kind of have with it, though, was that, certain little things. But one of the main issues I have was, like, she suddenly becomes a really good fighter out of nowhere. And I'm like, where's she? I know they said she had a rough upbringing, like her parents died. She had an adopted mother. By the way, I kind of teared up a little bit when they had the adopted mother story, showing them like going to their new place, their new apartment, and suddenly the squatters there, and they went up killing her adopted mother. That was like, that hit me hard. I'm like, whoa, because even just the actress who played her adopted mother, just made me like automatically liked her. It's like, oh, okay, all right, this is her adopted mother. I'm like, that's horrible. This is horrible. What happened? And then we find the spoiler alert. It's already basically a spoiler now. Then we find out that those squatters were basically Alice's gang that killed her, and so that was a good way to segue into the reason why she's going to go after the criminal underworld out here is because of what Alice had done. So that's a good way, because like I was thinking like, how are you going to do this? Because Alice is such an integral part of the first season, her and Kate Kane's relationship. And now that Kate Kane's gone, what the hell are you going to do with this new Batwoman? And that was a good way of like automatically putting it like that, connecting them two. All in all, I like this story. I just didn't think it's great or anything like that. But it's the first episode. You don't know where it's going to go and everything. So there's so much stuff that's going to most likely happen in the season. I said the fighting was kind of weird. The fact that they're treating the Batwoman suit even more like an Iron Man suit now is kind of weird, because Batwoman's supposed to be like Batman. She can fight. She can fight. She can fight. She's not relying upon the suit to do everything for her. And it seems like in this, she kind of is relying on the suit to do everything for her. And I don't even like the fact that the suit is that upgraded. I know it's Batman's suit changed to the Batwoman suit, but it's just like, why is it it's bulletproof. It's all this stuff. It's like, why is it all these things? The Bat characters are known for their fighting skills and everything like that. I want them to lean more into that. And it just gives me the problem with the fact that the new Batwoman, like I said, how is she fighting this well when we don't have any backstory, at least yet, of how she has this fighting skill? It just seems to be like the suit's doing everything for her. I didn't look up his name right now, but the guy who does play Bruce Wayne, I know people are going to have a problem with it, but I like him. I've always liked him. He was in a sci-fi show. I didn't get to look it up this time and put it up here. I'm sure I'll put it up here somewhere and I'll put his name. But he was in a sci-fi show that was basically Sci-Fi Station's version of mutants and everything like that. One of their many attempts to do that, by the way. Many attempts to do that. And I watched the show through and through, the whole thing, and when it premiered. And I thought that he did a good job on that. He was basically like the hot young guy of that show and everything like that. And he had powers to, like, I think he could shoot like a marksman. Like, he just didn't miss his target. He could flip around and do all this stuff like that. And then he was in little things after that. So I was kind of happy to see him back, to see him playing the duplicate of Bruce Wayne. Because it's not Bruce Wayne. It's actually the guy from, it's the guy from Revenge who played Owen in Revenge. Oh, God. I love Revenge. I'm sorry, people. Side note, I love Revenge. I love Emily, and I can't wait to see her in a Falcon and a Winter Soldier thing. I can't wait to see that. Going back to the relationship between Alice and Ryan Wilder, I just want to say something about the actress who plays Alice. In the first season, in my opinion, she was one of the best things about it. Just how she kind of does the melodrama and everything like that of Alice, I think she makes it work for what it is. And this is coming from a person who does not like her. And so I feel bad for saying that. But when she was on the original Birds of Prey TV series, if you didn't know that, and she played Dinah there. Then she went to Lost Girl on Sci-Fi, and she was in a bunch of different things and everything like that. But when she was in that show for Birds of Prey, she was the one thing about that show I hated. And I feel bad for saying that because I like her now, because I like her especially as Alice. But in Birds of Prey, she was trying to play a 16-year-old teenager and everything like that, the daughter of Black Canary. And I just hated her. I felt she was playing it too much like a kid. Like, she was just like, you're not even that old. I don't even know how old she was then, but it came off really bad. And it was the reason why some people get on CW shows and everything like that, which I don't understand at all. I think that it's just a thing to poo-poo on CW shows to get on them. But when CW started most of this comic book stuff on TV in the first place, and people don't seem to remember that. But I do really appreciate her as Alice. I think she has those little nuances that make her kind of crazy and make her kind of not there. And I appreciate her doing this role. And I think that she does a really good job. She's still the standout person of this TV series. I don't know why I really want to add this, but I do want to say this. My personal relationship with the Bat family and the Bat family of characters is that I appreciate them in the comic books, but believe it or not, even though I'm a big comic book person, I never really got attached to reading them in the comic books. I know what's going on. I make sure that I know enough to know their backstories and what's been going on in the Batman comic books and everything like that, but I never like to actually sit down and just read them. I've read a few, admittedly, and everything like that, but it's not something I would follow continuously. So I actually like Batman and the Bat family more on TV shows, cartoons, and in live action, more than the medium of comic books. There are just more people I gravitate towards in comic books, like Superman and certain other characters like that. But I've always appreciated the Bat family. Like, I appreciate what they did for comic books. And like I said, for some reason, it gets me more when I see them in live action or I see them in animation. And so this show, for me, it's like, I'm just happy to see Batwoman out there and everything like that and to see what it's going to bring. And so far, Season 2, Episode 1, I think is okay. It's not great. It's not gangbusters or anything like that, but it's good. And I know that like the ratings dropped and everything like this for this season, but it's going to happen. It usually happens on a second season anyway. Didn't happen with Supergirl. No, Chuck, it did happen with Supergirl, but still gained a lot of followers. So yeah, I did like this episode of Batwoman Season 2, Episode 1. And I do like the girls playing the new Batwoman. I just didn't think it was necessary. I wish that we still had the original Batwoman, Kate Kane. But interested to see where it's going to go. I'm going to watch it just like all the CW Arrowverse shows, with the exception of, oh God, Legends of Tomorrow. I'm sorry. I finally dropped off that show about a season ago. But every other show in the Arrowverse I do watch. And what did you think What did you guys think if you saw this episode of Batwoman? Did you like it? Do you like the new Batwoman? Do you like where it's possibly going to go? Do you like Alice? Because I love Alice, like I said. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you do like the contents of my page and everything like that, and just my thoughts on certain comic book related TV shows, movies, and comic books, subscribe to my page to see any notifications for any new videos and everything like that. And leave any comments if you want to. It helps out the page and everything for me to be able to continue doing it and everything like this. It's not my full-time job. I like to do it. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great day. And also, just to add, if you do want to check out my online comic book, I do draw and write an online comic book, original one. It's called Visions of the New, which you can see at magicloud.com. Get a printed version there, or look it up, or anything like that. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day.